following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
I'd sit alone and watch your light, my only friend through teenage nights, and everything I had to know, I heard it on my radio.
News Talk 1310 KFKA.
You've only got a couple of hours left. If you're going to pull a party out of your ass, you might want to stand up.
Hello. Thank you for listening to the New World Order Report with the Conspiracy Keepers. My name should not matter. What should matter is that the information presented here be given to everyone you know. We hope that you, the listener, explore the possibility that we are in fact being controlled by forces well outside the circle of decency and morals. A circle that is just part of the many symbols used every day to keep you in fear, in the dark, and uninformed. Our topic today, and every day, is the New World Order agenda. How do you know which societies are working with the New World Order and which ones are not? Find out now. Here come the Conspiracy Keepers.
Well, good evening, Gotham, Metropolis, Emerald City, Xanadu, Babylon, to the ISS, and the rest of you up until this time tomorrow, the Cassini probe, and then that'll be done. Using that as a benchmark, we will get live from the Pro Realty Old Town Studios, a Quantum News Network production of the Scooter McGee Show, headlines for 9/15/17. After we spend some time tonight with Joe Lanier and the Conspiracy Keepers. Online, conspiracykeepers.com. Headlines that are already up for tonight are already available at 1310kfk.com. Special thanks to all the sponsors that make this possible. From City National Pond, 3301 West 10th Street. Don't get pissed. I took 11 this morning. Limits 15 daily. Joe, I was out shooting doves of peace. 25% off all shotguns till I tell you otherwise, or First Frost, obviously. Special thanks, Ron Widow. Tomorrow's going to be very interesting in the markets right now. Gold and silver, tough to get. Ron Widow's got it. 2002 9th Street. He'll be there tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the two idiots standing together in Hawaiian shirts, that won't be Ron and I at 4 o'clock tomorrow. And then, of course, again, live from the Pro Realty Old Town Studios, that's Matt Rivette. Now, Joe, as you can hear, is on the other line, which means some of you may require a deep breath, a grain of salt, and a shot of your choice.
Okay.
Greeley West Side Liquor is going to deliver to you, 970 Greeley and in Evans. 970-353-0036. Joe, contractually, we're good to go on the live reads. Let's get to the meat of the week. It sounds like, let's introduce a porn star.
Hurricanes from last week. We were right about that.
Yeah. Okay, so first, let's go back because, 2 weeks ago, in the wake of Harvey, we were being made fun of the Illuminati weather machine gun.
Right.
Well, now they've all but openly admitted that, weather modification was used in the case of not only Hurricane Harvey, but Hurricane Irma. Now, the Navy and the Air Force and the Pentagon announcing we're sending sprayers back to Houston. What for? Oh, we're going to spray for mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
You're a lying, steaming, stinking, nasty sack of liquid crap.
Now, on a side note, I didn't even tell you this, Joe. Only because you weren't with us when Sam and I and the rest went up to Glendo for the eclipse.
No, I wasn't.
But the city, and I'm not slamming the city if it's a town of less than 1,000 people, okay? But the county, not the city, had posted signs that, and again, we got off the air Friday night, leave, go to Johnson's Corner, wheels down in wherever we were. Where is that? Wyoming, 5 a.m. Overnight they had sprayed for mosquitoes.
Yeah,
And they
no doubt.
and they posted the signs on the street corners, and they notified the residents that they would be doing it again in the next 24 hours, obviously because they were expecting a surge of people to come for the eclipse, and they didn't want a mosquito, issue. But
Right.
that's the cover story. You don't know what they're spraying. And on Monday Night Show, all I did in the 11 o'clock hour, Joe, and again, 9/11, I explained in hour one since 1900 to 1957 Appalachia, the FBI said the mob didn't exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
That's true, right? And yet the cast of characters from the CIA, the mafia, the FBI, the government, and corporations, synonymous. And we now know that in the 21st century. That's a fact. That's not speculation. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the second hour, I went a slightly different direction, staying off the 9/11, again, because I'm not going to play into the hoax game. We know what didn't happen. The 9/11 Commission report. There are many speculative arguments as to what happened, but are we ever going to get to know the truth? No, just like you and your quest at Dealey Plaza. I mean, we know, but we don't. We know there was a coup. We know that the players are scenery. We know that it was at the highest levels of government. Then I brought up drug, and so in the second hour on Monday, drug dealing all the way through Mena, Arkansas. Back to the days of God rest his soul, Don Carlo. Again, the federal government allows certain things, drugs, prostitution, gambling, but not drugs. Why? Because the government's running drugs, and Don Carlo and Meyer Lansky know that because in World War II, right after Pearl Harbor, the Navy went to Lucky Luciano to secure the ports. The federal government was working with organized crime for an entire post-half century from 1900 to 1957, and yet the federal government didn't admit they existed. Then in the 11 o'clock hour, I pointed out exactly where we were now 72 hours ago, 16 years ago. Now we're back on the air live at 5, and then again Friday night, 80s Retro Dance Party, pretend nothing happened. And yet here was the magical list that appeared yesterday of the songs you're not to play on the air, and it's another one, Bites the Dust and Disco Inferno, and we don't play those in commercials at our alma mater. Remember that?
I do. Okay. Yes, I do. Right. Yes.
So again, I pointed out to the listeners, just as again the focus over the weekend, Stephen King, It. We knew the clown thing was a hoax. We knew that all along. And again, Hollywood totally out of ideas. The new movie is just to lay out all the next sequels that'll come forward after that. But again, they're out of ideas. So they're just using the textbook. Right. Why? Because the textbook works, because the people are asleep.
Right.
I don't know how else to wake people up at this point, Joe.
I know, because they're all under mind control. I mean, I'm thinking about this Hurricane Irma. It completely, didn't function under normal conditions.
None.
I mean, they tracked this thing all the way almost from Africa. It made a straight line over Cuba and took a right-hand turn. I don't know if there was like a cop there or a stop sign.
My last head count.
Now we're going to go directly over Florida.
My last head count.
That's not a natural event.
My last head count coming out of Havana, only 12 dead in Cuba from Irma.
Yes, I know. So hurricanes don't behave that way. This was totally manipulated. And by the way, Hurricane Jose is the same thing.
And is he racist?
Go ahead.
Is Jose going to be racist?
Hey, well, it might
Instead
be
of a hurricane party, should we have
notorious for naming things for their own purposes.
Okay,
so
you hit it, because I was going to bring it when we came back. Again.
I know.
Again.
Right, exactly.
In media, again. I was never a fan when we said we're going to, again, but that's a misogynistic pig. Remember when they said we're going to start now naming storms men and women? Okay, fine.
Yes,
fine.
right.
Okay, that's fine. Now we're going to start naming winter storms. No. Next thing you know, you're going to start naming fog.
Right.
But what is the significance of the name Jose in the world of the 13 families, if at all? Because that's a word you and I have never chatted about in our years together.
We haven't. And the thing about these Illuminati families is it's kind of hard to figure out what they're doing while they're doing it, because they have their own agenda that's coming down the road. So, once these tragedies happen, it's just like, oh my! I mean, the world is a large thing. Wow, what happened? So we have to backtrace them to see where they have warned us about this in the past. So these hurricane names. One thing I can say about this is this weather manipulation has really started in Russia. So it's a Russian agenda.
I pointed out Khrushchev.
The Russians are part of the Illuminati.
Khrushchev admitted in 55, it may have been 57, but it was the mid-50s. Khrushchev didn't admit we had the power to manipulate the weather. He said we have the power to control the weather.
Right. So in the beginning, you would see these hurricanes. They were always named after Russian names. I mean, Katrina actually in the beginning was Katerina.
That's right.
They changed it to Katrina.
Stop. Joe. What was Bush 43's wife's name? Laura. Laura actually called it Katerina.
Yeah, exactly. So we've seen these Russian names with hurricanes before, and they've modified them to kind of like, we're not really doing this. So we've seen it. So they're changing it a little bit now. So they're changing it to Latin names.
Okay.
In the Caribbean, so there's always some kind of tie into what they're doing. And they're warning you about it before they're doing it.
Let's get back to Joe Lanier and the Conspiracy Keepers after a quick 3-minute commercial break. Headlines for tomorrow, 9:15. Already up at 1310kfk.com. Follow me on social media, Facebook /The Scooter McGee Show, Twitter @The Scooter McGee. Otherwise, follow the videos now, of course, including this video, which once we're done, we'll post on YouTube. Be one of the first 500 subscribers to my channel on YouTube, and you could win one of you is going to win a $200 gift card to Old Chicago's. A quick break, 3 minutes, and back with more with Joe Lanier.
Are you listening to the Scooter McGee Show? Well, misery does love company. Stay tuned to News Talk 1310 KFKA.
Our name says it all. Caring Hearts Home Healthcare. Caring Hearts is Northern Colorado's only full-service Medicare-certified in-home healthcare agency. At Caring Hearts, we have been providing both medical and non-medical care since 2001 with our own staff of experienced nurses to ensure a truly consistent quality of care. That's Caring Hearts, where loving patient care comes first, allowing individuals the independence and security to remain at home for as long as possible. For more information, call today at 378-1409.
Son of a... Howdy, neighbor. Looks like your restrictor plate is acting up again.
My what?
Oh, your thingamajig.
Are you a victim of your neighbor's know-it-allism? Your lawn equipment is struggling, and neighbor guy here thinks he knows what's wrong.
Yeah, you just feel around that blade when it starts.
Not only is he wrong, he's dangerous. Let the real professionals fix your lawn equipment. Mowers, trimmers, small engine. The Watershed can and will do it before you hurt yourself or that neighbor. Learn more at thewatershedinc.com or find them on the corner of I-25 and Harmony Road.
According to the dictionary, the definition of outfitters is an assemblage of articles that...
No, that's too complicated. It means to put something together.
No, it does not. It means to piece something together to make it look good.
Oh, you're so full of
Wrong. You're wrong.
You're the one who's wrong.
Outfitters has many definitions. The definition of truck outfitters is simply CRP 4x4. They're installers as well to make your vehicle look good from bug shield to bumper. CRP 4x4 online at crp4x4.com. The thunder is rolling, the lightning is striking, but most importantly, the hail is falling. Dent Masters has been locally owned since 1991 and has repaired thousands of vehicles here in northern Colorado. The game plan is simple. A storm hits and your car gets hail damage. Get the required estimate from your insurance company and then bring the vehicle to Dent Masters, where they'll fix your car with such confidence that they offer a lifetime warranty on all of their work. Call today at 330-DENT. That's 330-3368.
Well, hi everybody. Dr. Ron Caskey jumping in here with a brand new announcement. So wake up, make notice of this, and write it down. We have just begun a series of video training retirement classes. These videos, they're simple, they're fun, they're concise, they're short, and you can watch them as many times as you want. You can get to these by clicking on a link on my website, roncaskey.com, or you can type in roncaskey.com/financial. And again, these are new retirement training video classes, educational, informative. You can't get this information anyplace else. So check it out and then give me a call. 303-710-3791. Toll free is 877-218-1972. Also, be watching for our new live webinar every week.
Breaking down the news 31 hours a day. Become one of the Scooter McGee Show minions. Head to scootermcgee.com and sign up for free newsletters. Join the chat room, show podcasts, bonus episodes in real time outside of the box news. The Scooter McGee Show on News Talk 1310 KFKA.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Well, Lil Kim has now launched another one over Japan. That, in theory, by definition, a second provocative act of war. The first transgender Oscar nominee. Lady Gaga's been hospitalized. And Rachel Maddow interview, there was an interruption there with Hillary for sneezing panda video. Yeah, I don't think those are headlines we're going to be covering tonight. I'm sorry. No. Well, one of them we might, because we've already started the trans investigation. But that, of course, the Conspiracy Keepers. Find us online, conspiracykeepers.com. And welcome back, Joe Lanier.
Thank you.
Joe is, again, we've pointed out again, and Mike is joking with me, and I said, well, then here, come in the talk studio. There are guys who just make this up because there are guys like you out there who are gullible enough that you'll follow this story to nowhere. Well, again, Nikita Khrushchev admitted not the ability to manipulate, but the ability to control the weather, and he did that in the 50s. Then in the meantime, when POTUS 44 got in, the day after, senior White House science advisor John P. Holdren, Eric Holder, John P. Holdren, two different people. I know that, Freudian slip. He admitted it.
Yeah, right.
And Monday night in the 11 o'clock hour, there are over 175 patents from the U.S. Patent Office that have been issued for chemtrails. And I just started reading them. They go back to before 1920, starting in 1917. World War I. They've been polluting the air for an entire century because it's now 2017. And again, the Soviets, and we had that whole Cold War. Some will say Cold War. Some say that's World War III. The next war will be World War IV. Now North Korea playing their game again with the missiles, so we keep them in fear over here. They're talking on Wall Street of a financial collapse. We've hit the death cross. The $3 trillion or $4 trillion that were pumped into the market after Trump won, Barron's announced last Thursday they can't find the money. It's gone.
Yeah, right.
The Pentagon already this year said they're missing $6 trillion. The last time we heard this was September 10th, 2001, when the Pentagon announced they lost $2 trillion. And
Donald Trump.
And we've always talked about the Soviet America fake left-right fight.
Right.
But now the argument, and again, remember you guys you disagreed when I said the next pope's going to come either from South America or Africa. It's not going to be an Italian Anglo. Well, okay, France is by definition Anglo, but Argentinian, right? Yeah, so South America. But I was wrong. I said they'd go with a young guy. I didn't think they'd go with another dinosaur. But let's get, so again, yes, they have often used Russian phrases and names for the hurricanes. Why now the argument of Jose? And again, in the world of the Illuminati and the 13 families and the bloodlines, and we know that they hide bloodlines under bloodlines, like John Edwards getting caught with the love child in the Inquirer.
Right.
So explain, if any, the significance of Jose.
Well, Jose, to some degree, is a Latin name, so that's where this hurricane is coming from, coming from Cuba. So they're not really, how can I describe it with these people and the way that they think? Because I know that I'm way ahead of them before they think of this stuff. Some of it will be a Russian name, and some of it will be, whether they steer it or not, inshore or onshore, offshore. They said, well, let's put this one from the Caribbean. So we're going to give it, we're not going to say it's Joe or Joseph. We're going to give it a Latin name, which is Jose. So they're always messing with us, always, whether it be names, these fake names or whatever, wherever they're coming up, with them from. But they're always telegraphing their punches before they do it. So, and when we don't get it, the media doesn't get it because the media is controlled by them. They laugh at us. I mean, they think we're foolish. And if anybody ever gets it like we do, they just think, oh, they're crazy. They're conspiracy theorists. Don't listen to them. Don't be one of them. Listen to our stations. Listen to CNN. Listen to MSNBC.
But
listen to ABC, CBS. That's the way that they think, and that's the way they want to steer us.
But if now we're at the point of ridicule, are we not winning? Again, first ignore us. Yeah, just blow us off. Okay.
Yeah.
First they ignore you. Then they ridicule you. Then they attack you. Then, in theory, you win. Does that argument still apply? And that's why I'm asking. If the fact is now they're making fun of us, does that at least mean we're making headway?
I think in their minds we're not. I think that we are. I think that 90% of the population is still so controlled by them to where they think
they being the globalists.
If 10% of us get it, that's still not enough. So remember what Joseph Pike said, who was one of the main Masons back, that started this movement.
Do you mean Albert?
Said,
do you mean Albert Pike?
What's that?
Do you mean
Albert? I'm sorry, Albert Pike. Sorry.
It's okay.
So what he said was, he's talking about us, talking about people who are against it. He says, when they need a leader, we will furnish them for them. So that's what they did with Alex Jones. Alex Jones, and I know I'm going to ruffle a lot of feathers with this, he is not one of us. He was created by Central Intelligence to put out in the forefront for the people who got it. And by the way,
so
Alex
he's controlled.
Jones tells the truth 85% of the time.
So by definition, you're saying controlled opposition.
So, wow, he must get it.
So by argument, you're saying controlled opposition.
Yes, absolutely. There's no question about it. I mean, he is not one of us. He's one of them.
We are 30 after the hour, 30 to the top. A very quick commercial break live from the Pro Realty Old Town Studios. Yes, okay, everybody just settle down. Nobody's attacking AJ. It's just 85% of something is better than 100% of nothing, but what 15% that's out there in theory by disinfo, how dangerous is that? I guess we'll get back to that with Joe Lanier here when we return. Headlines tough to swallow. Give Greeley Westside Liquor a call, delivering to everywhere in Greeley and in Evans, 970-353-0036. Bottom of the hour, I'm out for a Coke and a smoke, and we'll be right back.
Become a friend of Scooter McGee or like the Scooter McGee Show page. More of the Scooter McGee Show in a moment. 1310 KFKA's First Alert Weather, powered by Denver 7.
The Northern Colorado forecast, isolated showers are possible early tonight, then fair and cooler, low in the low 50s. Tomorrow, nice day, not as hot, highs will be in the low 80s, with a slight chance of an afternoon shower storm. Great looking weekend, lows around 50. I'm Denver 7 Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson, 1310 KFKA. This weather update is brought to you by H.A.R.P 4x4, located at the corner of 9th Street and 21st Avenue in Greeley. Call them at 970-351-8603.
Hello, Pat's Plots. What do you need?
I need an oil filter for a 2010 Ford pickup.
A what? We don't got that. Pat's Plots.
Hey, I'm looking for
we don't got that.
Sound familiar? Stop wasting your time and get the parts you need in one call at Gould Parts in downtown Eaton. Gould Parts has exactly what you need. Truck parts, car parts, machine parts. They've got it all with just one call. Write down this number and stick it up on the fridge. 454-3355. Gould Parts in Eaton. Northern Colorado is quickly becoming known for its huge craft beer selection, as well as a hub for the tastiest food in the state. But where can you go to get the best of it all in one spot? Try the Tavern at St. Michael's Square, where handcrafted food and beer are celebrated. Chef Chad has created an amazing menu, and the crew will make sure that your glass is full of the best craft beer in the state. That and countless TVs makes the Tavern at St. Michael's Square the perfect hangout. Check them out on Facebook for new menu items, drink specials, and food and drink pairing events.
PDC Energy is an oil and natural gas producer based here in Colorado, employing hundreds of Coloradoans with Colorado values. In addition to safely producing the natural resources that power our lives, PDC gives back to the communities where they operate. They support and volunteer for organizations like World Food Bank, Habitat for Humanity, UNC, and local high schools. PDC Energy employees are part of the fabric of our community. 85% of PDC Energy employees participated in the company's annual day of volunteer service. At PDC Energy, community matters. To learn more, find PDC Energy on Facebook.
The people in Northern Colorado are proud people. Being corn-fed and homegrown carries a certain pride behind it. Warehouse Supply has been right here in Northern Colorado and is locally owned and operated. Warehouse Supply is an industrial and agricultural supply company dedicated to providing excellent service inside our store as well as out in the field. Located right off of Highway 85 in LaSalle, Warehouse Supply knows what it means to be from Northern Colorado, and they are here to continue to serve the people of Northern Colorado. Call today at 284-2041.
How many yes answers to New Way Cleaners questions can we get in 30 seconds? Only one way to find out. Does New Way Cleaners offer free delivery? Yes. Can they clean my leather coat? Yes. How about automatic discounts for VIP members? Yes. Alterations? Yes. Are they fast? Yes. Does New Way Cleaners have a drive-thru? Yes, at Northgate and Westlake Village. Hot coffee to go? Nope. Sorry. Well, that's 6 yeses. In Greeley, New Way Cleaners, and online at thecleaners.net.
It's the place there's no place else like. Home. It's the circle of chairs around your fire pit, where all the do you remembers get passed around like bowls of ice cream. It's bacon and eggs in the skillet, crackling along with the laughter.
At Shelter Insurance, we don't just insure your home, we insure all the memories that live inside it. Ask your agent for details. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Ask Shelter Insurance agent Paul Dovenbarger about Shelter's competitive auto insurance rates.
Friday morning, a circus parade of news, weather, sports, traffic, and the best of our community. NOCO Morning News on 1310 KFKA.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
This portion of the Scooter McGee Show brought to us by City National Pawn, 3301 West 10th Street, where, until I tell you otherwise, right now it's 25% off all shotguns, 35% off all laptops, PlayStations, Xboxes, Wiis, etc. And lest we forget the lovely ladies, 40% off all jewelry. City National Pawn, 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 3301 West 10th Street. Welcome back, of course, Joe Lanier from the Conspiracy Keepers. I like putting these on a rotator. This is a good idea. Hi, Joe.
Yes, hello.
All right. So I'm getting critique from you-know-who.
Who's that?
Well, who else do you think's up here at night when I'm up here?
Oh, well, yeah, I'm thinking Micah, maybe somebody like that. Okay,
somebody like that, yes.
Okay.
Okay. So let's take this down the path of numerology. The hurricanes totally took focus off of 9/11.
Yes, they did.
The other thing I pointed out last night, what the hell Homeland Security's doing with Florida Power and Electric is beyond me. When over the weekend on the Weather Channel, MSNBC, CNN, Fox, New York Times, Washington Post, they all reported that Florida deliberately cut the power so that it would make it easier to turn it back on in the wake after the storm.
Yeah.
Now they're saying, could take weeks, could take months. Now, I also posted a story last night, which again shows you and I don't talk about what we're going to talk about on air. Are you following this CO2 cloud over New York City?
Absolutely. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
So where do we go? I mean, they're up to something right now.
Yeah, they absolutely are. But let's get back to the hurricane.
Yes.
I mean, the hurricane really was. It hit on 9/10, 9/11, but it hit just like a day before. But the thing is, I mean, they're not exactly precise. I mean, they can control these storms, but it's not a science. So they were a little bit a day late.
Just like practicing medicine.
Yeah, but it was still a 9/11 anniversary to them. And I'm not sure about this next storm, which is Hurricane Jose. I'm not sure where this one is going to go as well. They think it's going to go back out into the Atlantic, but it might track toward New Jersey. It might track toward New York. This might be one of theirs as well.
Yeah, no,
it's a very weird storm.
I did, because I talked to Al in Jersey this morning, and he had made the comment because he saw the video, and he's like, I couldn't believe you were covering it. No one else is. And the levels here are ridiculous. Now, he, on the Atlantic City side, Jersey, all of the CO2 detectors in the house suddenly started going off ballistically.
Right.
And he's on the the harbor side is wrong. The coastline side?
The coastline, right.
Okay. Many of his friends to his we're facing what to the ocean? We're facing west to the ocean. So many of his to the north and the south, his neighbors, all the same. All of their, and I mean, they live in nice houses over there. So they all have the built-in CO. They were all going off, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. There was a nice breeze outside, partly cloudy. They were sitting on the deck drinking wine. Al was smoking a cigar, and it's like, what's going on here? And then he gets on social. He got on social media, and he saw my post. Then he starts listening. He's like, "Oh my God!" And he pulls up the National Weather Service website, and you see all the CO2 emissions coming from the as I said, here in the Rocky Mountains in the Pacific Northwest, the wildfires creating the CO2. Well, what the hell's creating this? But back to the storms.
It's very strange about these storms because hurricanes perform in a counterclockwise position. But this particular storm, Jose, is going clockwise. It's like going back and forth, which shouldn't be happening. I mean, the law of physics say this shouldn't happening. This shouldn't happen. So there's no doubt that these storms are being steered. I've looked at this to no degree on my website, theconspiracyyzone.org, and we know that they're steering these storms. These are completely unnatural storms to do this kind of thing.
I'm showing the photographic evidence over at 1310kfk.com on my Twitter feed and on my Facebook feed that there are the satellite images. Now, you want to deny that, fine, but here's the images clearly showing the resonance use of H.A.R.P in conjunction with chemtrails.
Yes.
As I report the U.S. Air Force military planes, they're in Texas. And they're openly in broad daylight spraying, and they claim they're spraying mosquitoes.
I know. I know. And the public is so dumbed down. They are so naive that they can't see what's happening.
When I walk into the bank tomorrow, again, this is completely hypothetical, and I have no plans on robbing my bank tomorrow. But when I go in, can I just ask them to fill my bag full of money to remove some debt from their account?
I know. I hear what you're saying. I know.
NASA accidentally showing evidence of large-scale weather manipulation in the satellite photos. There's the photos.
You're right. And so, the public at large just doesn't see this. They don't really realize that they can do this kind of thing. I mean, we saw this with Hurricane Harvey. We saw when it came across the Gulf and it just stood above Houston and just sat there for 3 days.
And then went back out, got fed, and then went back in.
And then went back in. So storms, I mean, a natural storm will lose its effect once it gets over land. It won't just sit there for 3 days
because it sucks the energy out of
it. Yeah, it won't do that. I mean, that's not physically possible for these storms to do that unless they keep being fed by some other source to keep them there.
Now,
okay, go ahead.
So the situation in Florida and the aftermath. Oh, it's not going to be days. It's going to take longer than weeks. Could be months.
Yeah.
My first comment is, here comes the land grab. They're going to tell they're announcing here comes 16,000 inspectors. We have to inspect all the homes. Well, Homeland Security, if you're involved, obviously you're going to send a guy in with coveralls wearing a button cam. You're going to videotape the whole room. Don't tell me I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Right.
They're going to do this.
Exactly.
And then in the meantime, they'll claim the homes.
With Hurricane Harvey, because what happened with them is all these people are without homes. I mean, they're homeless. I mean, where are they going to go? Well, FEMA is going to come and say, oh, well, you're going to come live with us. We got camps for you. I mean, it's the same thing that we saw in World War II with Hitler. We've got these camps. So anybody who's homeless, you just come live with us, and you're going to be okay. So they deliberately set the precedent with Hurricane Harvey. So now all these other disasters, when people are homeless, they're going to say, oh, we've got a place for you to go. And they definitely have a place for you and I to go, because we are,
now, hold
in their
on.
mind, we're domestic terrorists.
Hold on.
The truth.
Now, wait a minute. Joe, stop. Hold on.
Okay.
We are seeing such an outpouring of the local church groups, whether it's the Elks, the Lions. Somebody remind me to pay my moose dues. The churches, synagogues. Nobody's talking about the mosques. That they are outpacing and outperforming FEMA, the Red Cross, March of Dimes, you name it, in their ability to support themselves, feed themselves, clothe and shelter, provide medical for others, and they don't want the government down there. I'm also noticing in Washington a deliberate, right from the White House press room, they are deliberately separating the U.S. government and FEMA. That FEMA now is almost its own entity unto itself, like the Red Cross.
Right. Yeah, you're exactly right. And by the way, don't donate to the Red Cross, because your funds will not get there.
10 cents on the dollar. No, Joe.
I don't want to go into that.
Joe,
that's another story altogether.
10 cents on the dollar.
Is not on your side.
But 10 cents on the dollar will go there. 90% go to pay the other expenses.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's be fair.
But that's not where you want to send your money.
No, you send it locally, again, and you get with your local church, and your church calls a local church down there, and you coordinate. But again, the government wanting to come in, and again, but I'm seeing it, a very specific split, definitively coming from the press office, that FEMA's FEMA and the White House is the White House. No, FEMA reports to the president. Not FEMA does whatever it feels like. Right. So where does this go next with the argument of the manipulation of Jose?
Well, we don't know where that's going to go. I mean, I have said all along that
could the CO2 emissions
going to be a natural disaster in New York.
Could the CO2? Well, that's the problem, because I pointed out last night there is absolutely no effing way in hell that you can evacuate Manhattan. First of all,
you can't.
About 2 in 10 are going to say "F you, I'm not leaving."
Yeah,
but
so
could the CO2 emissions that are being forced out now? Could that be used in the manipulation to draw Jose up?
It could be. Yeah, it could be, because right now we don't know what Jose is going to do. But the powers that be know what it's going to do.
What do they want it to do?
If this is a natural disaster that's going to attack Manhattan, but I've told you all along, we've talked about this for months, about where this natural disaster is going to happen. And I believe Manhattan is targeted. I believe that London is one of them.
Chicago is where Concietti says Willis Towers ground zero.
As one, but Manhattan is definitely one of them. So I don't know if they're going to use Jose right now for that.
Is there any other city on the? Is there any other city on the East Coast that has the same representation? I'm not saying Charleston. I'm not suggesting Norfolk. Today, though, again, I can't believe the Colorado connection all those years ago sending me out to Norfolk and all that. But here we go again. 6,000 troops from Fort Carson are getting deployed to Afghanistan.
Right.
That announcement today coming out of the, I believe, the Denver Post. But the significance military-wise, the news-wise, the economy-wise, is there any other New York is the symbol of America's business. But, we are seeing the attacks. Again, everybody was watching on the World Wide Web today the removal of General Lee, right? The statue of Lee came out. So is there any other city on the Eastern Corridor, shy of New York, that Jose could be manipulated in which to use as a focus of headline? Or is New York the target?
I think that if there is a target, I believe it's a big harbor like New York or Boston, because once 9/11 happened, I believe they had to back off because too many people figured it out.
Oh yeah.
So they want to up the ante right now. So I don't believe they want to attack minor cities right now.
I got the new one for you, Joe. I got the new one for you. Remember when we watched the nose cone pop out the other side of the building till CNN put up the extra scroll?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
okay. Right now on the webcam, I'm holding a can of Coca-Cola. Drink this, and then go outside and put it on the sidewalk and crush it with your foot and see what it does to the concrete.
Yeah, right.
We are 48 after. That means 12 to the top. That's according to my Bull of a Moon watch from William Moore Jewelers. Joe is in rare form, so let's take a quick commercial break and let's get back with Joe Lanier and the Conspiracy Keepers. Conspiracykeepers.com, theconspiracykeepers.org. And if Joe's up to spend some time with us in the 10 o'clock hour, we may open the Greeley Westside Liquor Hotline. But in the meantime, if you need to order, 970-353-0036. I'll give out the number to the station later. But stand by. We'll be right back.
Are you listening to the Scooter McGee Show? Well, misery does love company. Stay tuned to News Talk 1310 KFKA.
Everybody calls it the gold standard. In Eden, they call it the Gould standard. Gould Parts in downtown Eden is your answer for any part you need. Parts for cars, trucks, tractors, or heavy equipment. At Gould Parts, if we don't have your part, we'll find it. We'll even make parts for you like hydraulic hoses right on the spot. Gould Parts has been a staple in northern Colorado for over 50 years and is your source for quality Napa parts. Call Alan Gould and his great staff today at 454-3355. That's Gould Parts in downtown Eden, proud sponsor of Preps Radio.
The next generation of mobile banking technology is here. With the FMS mobile banking app, you are just one download away from everything you need to bank with your mobile device. You will have access to person-to-person payments, account-to-account transfers, debit card on-off control, remote deposit, quick balance and transaction history inquiry, and many other features. You can bank securely from wherever you are. For more info, call 970-673-4501 or visit them on the web at fmsbank.com. FMS Bank, banking made simple. Member FDIC.
If an injury has sidelined you from your sport, work, or family time, you want to get back out there. The physicians at the Orthopedic and Spine Center of the Rockies can help. They have 3 offices to serve you and 29 doctors who specialize in the medicine of motion. No matter your specialty, OCR has helped thousands of people just like you stay in the game. Appointments in Fort Collins, Loveland, and Greeley. Go to orthohealth.com or call 493-0112.
Hops and Husks is a beer festival unlike any other. Fritzler Farms in LaSalle is pairing craft beer and classic fair-style food with corn mazes, go-karts, and pumpkin cannons, so there's something fun for everyone. Located directly off Highway 85, Fritzler Farms has been a staple in the community for years and years. And this year, Hops and Husks takes place Saturday, September 16th, with beer tasting from 1 to 6. You don't want to miss this. For more information or to purchase your ticket, visit hopsandhusks.com. Health insurance is confusing, especially now. Learn about your health coverage options and get free help to enroll right here in Greeley. My Health Connections is your local resource for impartial in-person assistance to understand your options and, if you choose, enroll in coverage. Throughout the year, you can enroll in a health plan if you have a life change event, such as losing your existing coverage, getting married, or having a baby. You may be eligible for free coverage or financial assistance to help pay for health insurance. Don't wait for open enrollment. You may have enrollment options now. We've moved. Now you'll find us at the Sunrise Adelante Clinic at 1010 A Street in Greeley. We have certified bilingual health coverage guides available to answer your questions. We translate DC for Weld, and our help is free. Get answers to your questions and learn your options today. Call us at 970-301-4426 to schedule an appointment. That's 301-4426. My Health Connections, Greeley.
Cutting-edge commentary from the edge of reality. The Scooter McGee Show is back on News Talk 1310 KFKA.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Be guided by within. It's your only hope.
Only because Joe gets the reference, sending one out to Jackie Selby and Flock of Hairdos. You got time, Joe. It is her birthday today. Yeah. You know that?
I know. As a matter of fact, I sent her a birthday wish today on her Facebook page. I did.
Very good. Okay. Just make sure, because half the time we don't... again, people think that we come up with this stuff all week long. No, we don't. I checked in with Joe last night for 2 minutes. Hey, we're good for tomorrow night? Sure. Yep, we're good to go? Okay, cool. Anything you want me to tease? Yeah, we've got some great stories. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we are pushing the top of the hour, but your voice sounds strong enough. Do you want to go a half hour next?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm okay this week.
Fair
very
enough. So let's wrap up where we're at with the weather modification as it pertained to Harvey, Irma, and what we're looking at as Jose.
Right. Well, let's get back to why they're doing this, because a lot of people are going to wonder, okay, even if they've got the technology to do this, why would they do this? And we've proven they have the technology. They've admitted they have the technology. We can show that with the chemtrails. We can show that with the vapor machines. We've seen that. They admit that they have this technology. Why would they want to do that? Well, you have to understand who's doing this. The New World Order pundits are doing this. The globalists are doing this. What do they want? We've been talking about this all along. They want a New World Order. They want a one-world government. They want a one-world police force. They want a one-world monetary system. So, to that end, what do they have to do to get that in place? They have to destroy the old world order. So, what they have to do is they have to stage these disasters. They have to have hurricanes. They have to have tornadoes. They have to have 9/11. They have to have mass gun shootings. They have to have all these tragedies in effect for the population to say, oh, we don't like the way the world is now. We want something different. So it's order out of chaos. That's their theme. That's what they want. They have a solution. They create the tragedy so the population can say, wow, you have the solution. And what is that? Well, it's a New World Order. It's a one-world government where this stuff can't happen to you anymore.
You saw the reporter from Harvey at the Red Cross Center talking with victims who were here getting their necessary supplies as they get ready to enter she said, to enter the New World Order.
Yes, exactly. So what they're doing is they are creating, well, first of all, let's back up. They have an agenda. We want a new world order. We want a one-world government. How can we do that? We can't just implement it because the people will not want that. So what we have to do is we have to create these tragedies. We have to create storms. We have to create gun shootings. We have to create school shootings. And people will say, wow.
But we use the playbook.
Leaders, what can we do?
But
and
we use the playbook,
the
Joe. For the shooters, it's always the lone nut gunman. For, again, the acts of God you mentioned, well, they're just acts of God. And when it comes to false flag terror, it's always something else, a boogeyman, an entity, a towel head in a cave, whatever.
And by the way, we've talked about this before. Well, what are we going to do about these mass shootings? We've got the solution. We're going to take away your guns, which the Constitution says. The forefathers of our Constitution knew that this is going to happen. So they want us to bear arms. Why? Not because there's some nut that might come into your house. It's because they understood the government is going to want to come and take away your guns, and they want us to fight back if we have to. There is no dictatorship that ever existed in this world, whether it be Germany or Mao Zedong or Joseph Stalin, to where the people weren't disarmed.
Today
you have to understand that.
Today in history, guns, Joe, is Chiang Kai-shek.
Yeah. So when they want to come for your guns, what are they going to do? They're going to stage shootings to where the public will be outraged and say, I'll gladly give up my arms if this is going to give us peace.
And that's my fear about this hype of, and again, the cops from Denver in the circle we ran, and the cops and the cops up here in Greeley are what they are, and there's two different groups there. But this reality of all cops are bad, we've got to get rid of the cops. Why? So we can have a national police force, which again is part of their agenda. When, I'm equally guilty because I yell about all the maggots in the barrel. But in all fair, blue stars are going to fall out of their car and slam into trees. 90% of them are good guys. But it's these 10% corkscrewing ice holes that are ruining it for the rest of them. And that's what the media grabs onto.
If you go on YouTube and you look at police brutality, you will see hundreds of videos. And by the way, this is really happening. These aren't staged.
Correct.
Some of them might be. But
no one's denying it's out there. But again, they use it to feed the machine to, demand the public a reaction of which they already have the solution.
Right. So we see the cops are really out of control. They really are. They're doing things they shouldn't be doing. So, but they plan that as well. So they're going to say, look at how out of control the cops are, and they are. They're taking away your civil rights, but they've got the solution. We've got to nationalize it now, and we're going to have them with helmets and tanks. And we're gonna solve this whole problem.
And besides, they've already spread it out across the United States to all the local law enforcement agencies because they've got all the gear. We're gonna take this hour. We'll post this to YouTube for you. Joe Lanier is gonna stick with us through the bottom of the hour break, and then probably through on this day in Illuminati history, we'll cut him loose.
And now, a Sport Clips well-played moment.